Need a boost? Sometimes all it takes is tapping into your inner cool. Icebreaker's gum helps you unleash the confidence within. Each chew releases a rush of icy flavor powered by cooling flavor crystals, sending a wave of refreshment to reinvigorate all your senses. Icebreaker's convenient pack fits everywhere, from car cup holders to backpack pockets, so you can find your cool wherever you go. Grab Icebreaker's gum online or at a store near you.
You know what's really terrifying? That unfinished college degree lurking in the background, just sitting there, waiting for you. That's where Southern New Hampshire University comes in. With flexible online degree programs, there's no commuting, no rigid schedule, and no more excuses. Plus, they have some of the lowest online tuition rates in the U.S. Visit snhu.edu/morbid to learn more before your degree becomes just another story about what could have been. Chilling crime cases are mysterious, but finding coverage shouldn't be. With the State Farm Personal Price Plan, you have options and can personalize your plan to help create an affordable price so you can get back to cracking all of life's bigger cases. Talk to a State Farm agent today to learn how you can choose to bundle and save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Head to statefarm.com to get a quote. Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
Hey, weirdos. I'm Alaina.
I am Ash.
And this is Morbid.
Yep, it is. It is indeed.
It's Morbid, and this is going to be a two-parter that is going to be released. Bam, bam.
Big
just
boom.
All at once.
Bing, boom, bang.
So you don't have to wait for it, but I wanted to split it because sitting for like 2 full hours and listening to a case is sometimes not everybody's cup of tea, and not a lot of people have that time.
Yeah.
So I like to split it so you can eat it in little bits. But also, this is late because my house has turned into an infirmary.
Yep, and I turned into one of the patients, in case you can't tell.
Yeah.
None of us have cove.
Yeah, no COVID. We're all vaccinated here. But all the kiddos got sick. They all have like just yucky colds.
Yeah.
We're not really sure where they came from because we don't go anywhere, but such is life. And I think at this point, any germ that is floating around, we're all just going to get steamrolled by because
That's
our
how I feel.
bodies for a year and a half have not even had a common cold.
This is so foul. The amount of tissues that I woke up to on my fucking my bedside table. I was up all night last night. All night.
The amount of tissues that I have cleaned up around my house is
see, that's
outrageous.
why I need a mom for that shit.
You do, but you know what, Ash? And I think if you follow me on Twitter, you saw that I was like, Ash is a goddess that has been placed here on Earth. Ash took one for the team yesterday.
I caught barf in
Ash
my
caught
hands.
vomit.
Like in my hands with a paper towel on them, but
still caught it.
I was really proud of that.
Yeah, you should be proud of that. You have every right to be proud of that. You should have a medal.
Thanks.
Yeah, because, kids don't blow their nose, and that ends up irritating tummies, and that's what happened in my house yesterday. So
Yay.
It's been a tough few days. It's been a tough week, really, because one of my kids, like my middle child, was the one who was getting it first, and that was like towards the beginning of the week, and then it kind of trickled slowly until it culminated in
everyone
in a
but
barf
you.
fest. And now John has it. Everybody has it.
I don't understand how you don't have it.
I think it's like a mom or a parent thing. Someone in the house should have a force field around them, and I think I just happen to have it.
Well, I wish that I could have it, please.
You can. Only one of us can.
Okay.
So, and especially now that John has it, I have to.
Yeah, that's just like a whole other kid having it.
Yeah,
when your
'cause
husband gets sick.
The husband gets it now, so now it's like, at one point, John was laughing because like my youngest was like, Mama, and just wanted to be snuggled. And then my middle was like, can you come down in the playroom and, you know, do crafts with me? And then my oldest was like, can you come in my room and look at my iPad with me, or my like Kindle, whatever those little things are that we got them.
I think they're Kindles.
They're Kindles, but it's because they call them iPads. But yeah, they're like, can you play on my iPad with me? And I was like, well, okay, there's 3 of you, and I'm not really sure what to do here. So I was like, okay, first let me just snuggle this one, and then I'm gonna go real quick. And John was like, should we cut Mama in 3 pieces and just each of you take her?
I love it.
Because then he was like, but I need Mama too. All of them. So it's been quite a trip.
I laid on my couch today and watched Mad Money.
I'm very jealous.
Yeah.
But I, just sterilized the entire house. So.
She did. It smells great in here.
It does. There's bleach. There's all kinds of good.
I need to sterilize my house.
It was honestly a good excuse too at this point. Yeah. So
a good summer cleaning.
Yeah. So honestly, I've heard of a lot of people having all of a sudden colds and like nasty colds happening all of a sudden. So my thoughts are with all of you with colds, because I feel like they're way worse this year.
Yeah. They just they hit different.
They hit different. So, everybody stay healthy and
stay blessed, fam.
Think of us, because we're going to get through this.
I already am feeling better.
Yeah. And everybody's starting to get on the mend anyways, but this is why everything was kind of pushed this week. There was just a lot happening, and we didn't want to totally cancel the whole week, so we figured we'd just push it to the end.
Just push it.
And now you're getting both parts, which is actually better for you. So you know what? It all worked out for everybody, I feel like.
You know what? I suffered at their hands.
At your expense.
Not at my hands. I don't know.
Not at your hands. I don't know. There's cough medicine happening.
There's
very little sleep happening. So, we're here. We're here. We're going to do this. And this part 2 episode,
you're getting there.
Here we are.
There's very little sleep to be had.
So this 2-part episode is about somebody who I had only heard the name. I had never really looked into the case.
Okay.
Wow. His name is Darrell Rich. Darrell. And this takes place in California. And
so it's about to be whack.
Wowie,
she says.
Wowie kazowie.
I knew it was coming. I love wowie kazowie.
This is one of those.
Okay.
There's a lot happening here. This is going to be very long, so everybody sit tight.
Okay.
I'd like to say that one of the sources that I used for this, there's tons of articles, information. I used the court transcripts because we love when we can find court transcripts. I love that. So those had a ton, but I also found a book called A Season of Madness, and it's by Robert Scott. It's really good about this case. It is so detailed, and let me tell you, after you hear this case, the way that I'm going to tell you it, I definitely recommend getting that book and reading it. Just be warned that there's a lot of graphic detail.
I was going to say, is it graphic?
It's graphic, because this is going to include rape.
Yeah.
There's kidnapping, there's brutal murders. I mean, it's got it all. So just know that going in, but it's a great book. He did a great job. Good job, Robert.
Go, Robert.
Good job.
High five.
So let's get on with Darrell Rich.
Okay.
Darrell Rich was born on February 14th, 1955, Valentine's Day babe.
I think that's a Scorpio, but I'm not positive.
No, there you go. I mean, I don't know if that means anything in regards to what he does, but
always
it's not good. So he was actually adopted at 2 days old by Dean and Lily Rich.
Oh.
He grew up on Gas Point Road in Cottonwood, California. He had one younger sister, Sharon, who was also adopted.
Okay. He's an Aquarius. I'm always wrong.
He's an Aquarius. There you go. I know. I love that.
It's my favorite.
I think that makes him, and you're always like, nope.
No, it doesn't.
But you know what? You give it a shot.
She's dipping her toe in the astrology pond. She doesn't know everything.
Exactly. And you don't claim to.
Never.
Well, Lily, mom, was, I don't know if anybody can guess.
Terrible.
She was stern and she was domineering.
Oh.
That tends to be, domineering tends to be the word of the
mamas.
day. That's that's the key word with all of these dudes. She ran a daycare out of the home, so that was how she brought in income to the house. And by doing that, obviously all day her attention is going to be focused on the kids that she is being paid to look after. So she's going to be paying a lot more attention to these kids. Unfortunately, Darrell was kind of ignored a lot.
Oh.
he definitely took notice. Like, he was not happy with it. He started resenting her pretty quick and pretty early on. But as a kid, he was kind and helpful with children.
Huh.
He was good with children.
Interesting.
He would especially take care of the young kids. Like, he really liked the young kids. He even saved a kid's life once.
Bitch, what?
Who fell into, like, some canal, like, some, like, crazy, dangerous canal. He jumped into the canal and saved him when he was younger.
A serial killer.
Yeah. So he saved a kid's life, and then as we find out later, he will take a kid's life.
That is insane.
It's unreal. So Dean, the father, was kind of absent, definitely not huggy, not involved with his kids really that much. His wife would actually later testify at Darrell's murder trial later that whenever Darrell wanted to go into his room and be alone, which was a lot, he liked to sequester himself in his room. Which, whatever, he was a teenager or like a younger kid. He just wanted to be alone. And he was a loner. He just didn't have a lot of friends. He never really made a lot of friends growing up. But he would go into his room to try to escape and just kind of like be by himself. And Dean would beat him with a belt. For wanting to go into his room.
Okay.
So I'm like, that's great. Together, Dean and Lily as a couple were very volatile. And they would fight all the time. They fought in front of the kids at the dinner table, especially all the time. And he later said, like once they were interviewing him way later, that he hated eating together as a family because that's when they would fight.
It's also like, why would you want to eat together as a family at that point? Like,
which is
clearly
just so sad.
This sets up.
Yeah, and it's really sad. And his sister later said that too, and that like Darrell would just try to help, like would try to make his parents happy, but she said that was impossible. Like, so she was like, he would always try to make him happy, but he never could.
So do you feel like this is a nature nurture, or do you think it's a bit of both?
This is a bit of both, I think, for sure. Because he, throughout his life, we'll see that like people would give reports, like his teachers or psychiatrists or anybody, that he fails at whatever he's trying to do, but they all say, but he tries really hard. So it's like never one of those things where it's like, well, he just doesn't really give a shit and he's not trying and he's just what they're all saying, like, yeah, he's not good at this and like he can't do this, but like he tried really hard.
Oh, that's really sad.
Which when he's a kid, that's sad.
Yeah, let's feel bad for
the adult is a fucking monster, and I want you to know that right up front. He's a fucking monster.
All right.
So all of this is like, oh, okay, sad, Darrell, and then later you're like, go fuck yourself, Darrell. Yeah.
These long dog days of summer, I mean, we just made it through a heat wave. Mama was parched through this heat wave. I was hitting up Dunkin' every single day, and I will continue to probably for the rest of my days, but especially this summer. Dunkin' is helping everyone stay cool this summer with its lineup of refreshers. These drinks are packed with bold, fruity flavors and served ice cold. It's amazing. Dunkin' refreshers are the perfect afternoon pick-me-up. I like to start my morning with them personally, and then sometimes I go back for a second one because I'm just feeling crazy. They come in a variety of delicious flavors, including fan favorites mango pineapple and strawberry dragon fruit. And then for a limited time, there's black cherry and there's pink pineapple. I'm going to tell you something right now, and it's a bold claim, let me tell you, but I stand behind it. Pink pineapple will change your life. It is so good. It has me feeling like I'm sitting in a pool, resort side, just living, honey. It's so yummy. Try your favorite flavor with green tea, sparkling water, lemonade, or Dunkin's all-new limeade. I haven't tried the limeade yet, but I'm going to. Usually I get my drinks made with green tea and occasionally lemonade, but I do really like the green tea. Or if you don't want to build your own, try one of Dunkin's curated refreshers like the Cherry Lime Ricky or the Ultimate Pink Daydream. The Cherry Lime Ricky, scrumptious. I could drink like 3 of these a day. They're so freaking yummy. Head to Dunkin' today and find your favorite refresher. Dunkin' refreshers contain less than 1% fruit juice. Limited time offer. Getting paid twice a month doesn't mean money is scarce. It just feels that way. That feeling makes you do weird stuff, like putting things on a card you didn't need to. Earnin removes that feeling. With Earnin, you can access up to $150 per day of money you've already earned, plus up to $1,000 between paychecks. Standard transfers take 1 to 2 business days with no mandatory fees, and expedited transfers start at $3.99 and cap at $5.99. 5 million people are already on it, and honestly, it's wild it didn't exist sooner. Download Earnin on the App Store or Google Play, spelled like earning money without the G. Type in Morbid under podcast when you sign up. It'll really help the show. Earnin is a financial technology company, not a bank. Access limits are based on your earnings and risk factors. Standard cash outs take 1 to 2 business days with no mandatory fees. Expedited transfers available for a fee. Tips are voluntary and don't affect the service. Available in select states. Terms and restrictions apply. Visit earnin.com for full details.
So there's that. And again, like I said, school was tough. Especially at first. He had trouble concentrating. He was definitely like a moody kid. He was just always grumpy and angry and just not fun to be around. Oh. I wonder why. He was held back in first grade, and which a lot of kids are held back that early on.
Yeah,
I think that happens a lot.
Do it sooner versus later.
It happened. I shouldn't say a lot, but like it's a pretty like whatever thing, especially at that age, kindergarten, first grade. But his guidance counselor actually said that he was becoming a bit scary and was like recorded this and said that his mood swings were becoming way harder to predict and that, quote, without treatment, they felt that he could become violent.
Oh.
No one did anything about this.
That's what they
So that's a failure on everybody else as well. In third grade, he fell off a horse and was really hurt. Uh-huh. And at 15 years old, his parents finally divorced. Okay. After tons of fighting. He was super angry at this point, and this really only pushed it further because obviously that's hard for any kid. And I mean, it was likely for the best because they were fighting all the time, but you know, kids don't see it that way, of course. No,
of course not.
So he moved in with his mother to Southern California at first, and his grades got worse. His behavior continued to get worse. He was a full-blown problem like at this point. A terror. Yeah, literally. After only a bit, he moved back with his father and his new stepmom at this point. Uh-oh. Shit got worse at school. He ended up being suspended for fighting at one point, and he just wouldn't show up at others.
Okay.
So things are just really falling apart all over the place. Now, this is like sad and scary. He was at 17. He had a girlfriend named Mary. Mm-hmm. And Mary and Darrell had a very volatile relationship because that's what he was shown as a child. Right. And, you know, it's when that's demonstrated to you daily growing up, that's really all you're going to know.
Anything else.
So eventually they did break up. She said later that he did, I think like she said he didn't get violent all the time or anything like that, but I think there was one scenario where he like slapped her in the face. Oh. And I think that was kind of the straw that broke the camel's back. They broke up. Uh-huh. He was devastated, like fell into a dark depression. Everyone around him said like he was despondent. He went out into the woods one day with a gun and he shot himself in the chest with it in an attempted suicide. Obviously, it didn't kill him, but it seriously injured him, and it caused a lot of psychological issues, obviously. Wow. Like emotional issues. All that's not to survive that is like a big, and I think you're either going to take it one of two ways. But yeah, so as he recovered, he was still depressed, and especially probably more depressed because now he's dealing with all these emotional issues that have come up. He's drinking really heavily. Uh-huh. In 1973, again, he's 17 years old. After he had recovered from his attempted suicide, he shot his gun one day at a sheriff's vehicle with the sheriff inside. What? The bullet went like right over the top of the car. He was immediately arrested. Uh-huh. And when they arrested him, he said that he was hoping that the sheriff would have shot and killed him. Oh. That was like his second attempted suicide by cop. Yeah, that's why he did it. So he ended up seeing a psychologist, obviously. He's 17. Her name was Mary DaCosta, and she wrote in her notes, quote, he was very depressed and had a hunger for affection and reassurance. Aww. He was very sensitive to rejection. This is so poignant for his later what he does later. Rejection is what sets his anger off almost every time.
Because it's like he's been rejected his whole life by like his mom and dad. And
exactly.
Now he got rejected by his girlfriend.
And he doesn't,
for good reason. But
so it turns him into an absolute monster. He ended up stopping going to meetings once he had served what he needed to serve. And a month later is when he started his bullshit. Like his big crime spree. Okay. So this happened and then it was like, boom. He stopped his meetings and he was like, I'm out.
Oh, shit.
So August 16th, 1973 at 1:30 a.m., a woman named Kathleen Webb was 19 years old. She was with this guy named Mark Steele, who was 20 years old. They were driving in like a Volkswagen Beetle, I think it was, because the 70s, of course. They were going through Lake Redding Park. Mark was driving, Kathleen was in the passenger seat, and suddenly a car pulls up next to them. And there's a bunch of guys in the car. They're just like, whatever. But then the driver, who later Kathleen said had dark hair with a dark mustache, he asked them if they knew Chris. Like, just leaned out the window and was like, do you guys know Chris?
I'd be like, we're driving, and I don't know who that is.
Also, like, Chris?
I know, like, everybody has that name.
Well, so Mark was like,
Chris who?
Chris who? Like, literally said Chris who, and then the guy answered with, like, some last name. So Mark was like, no, I've never heard of him. So they're about to leave, and one of the dudes in the back seat says, how about letting us borrow your chick? And Mark is like, fuck off. So Mark, I guess, like, yelled something like fuck you or screw you or something, which honestly is nicer than most people probably would have done. And this car follows them as they drive away and is now speeding behind them and then rams their car from the passenger side.
It's like a horror movie.
Yeah, it literally is. So they try to keep going. They're like just trying to get the fuck away from them. And eventually they kept like dinging their car in the back. They eventually made it so the car spun around. And the four guys get out of the car, walk towards them.
Oh my God.
But they were able to speed away in the car with literally like parts of the car falling off as they're driving away.
Oh my God. Can you imagine like the terror that...
No, four grown men, like after doing that, I'd be like, there's no limits to what they'll do.
That reminds me of the movie, keep talking, I'll think of it.
Keep talking.
Nocturnal Animals.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Have you seen that?
It does. Yeah, it's terrifying.
Yeah, really scary.
So I guess later, Kathleen said, Mark drove as fast as he could, hoping to avoid meeting them again. We went straight to the police station and they did not follow us. I'd seen the license plate number of that car and remembered it, which like badass.
Yeah.
It was a sedan and sort of purple looking in the dark under the lights. The car was apparently brown, but she thought it looked purple.
I could see that though. Now,
when all of the information was relayed and the license plate number was looked up, it was determined that the car was registered to Lily Rich.
Okay.
They were able to look up Darrell's criminal record from his assault on the sheriff, of course, so he's in the system already. Yeah. They placed the mugshot in a lineup for Kathleen and Mark. Kathleen couldn't pick any of the men out as the guy. She was like, they all look like him. It was
dark.
But Mark was like, that's the guy, and chose Darrell.
Okay.
So they go to Darrell's house, and Lily's there. So they talk to Lily, his mom, and they see that the car in the driveway matches the car in their assault and that it has severe damage to it.
Oh, no way.
So they tell her everything, and she tells them, well, the previous night when this all happened, she said Darrell was going to a friend's house with her car. She said it didn't have any damage when it left. So she was like, that's new damage. She called Darrell at work, which was at like a welding company in the area. And she was like, you should come home. And
like
so,
right now.
Yeah. So he came home and he basically was like, yep, hi. Yeah, I had the car yesterday, but like that story you have is wrong. And he said, here's the thing. He said, last night I went to my friend Russ's house with the car. He said he and Russ only hung out for like 5 to 10 minutes. And then he said he was going to meet a girl, like visit a girl he knew in the area. And he said he was trying to find where she lived because he had never been to her house before. So he drove the car to a parking lot with like a Bank of America. And he said it was on California Street. So he's giving like really specific shit.
Right.
Which is always,
I was going to say that
you're like,
that someone is lying.
And he said he's sitting there. He has no reason to be sitting there, but he wants you to suspend reality for this story of his, that he's just sitting in his car in this Bank of America parking lot for literally no reason. And he says, while he's there, this guy just walks up to him And he says it's a guy he doesn't know. And he says, quote, some guy I didn't know asked if he could borrow the car and go get some cigarettes. I let him do it. And he was gone for about an hour and a half. I think this was about 10:30 or 11 p.m. The car wasn't damaged when I had it, but I didn't notice if it was damaged when the kid brought it back. What? I then came back to Cottonwood and goofed around the Cottonwood Inn for a while.
Okay.
So I just want to be sure that we all understand this. So he's like, Mom, can I use the car? I'm going to go visit my friend Russ. And she's like, yeah, sure, totally. He goes and visits Russ for 5 to 10 minutes.
Right.
Then he goes to find a girl who he's never been to her house.
I don't know where she lives.
He stops in a bank parking lot and just sits there for literally no reason.
Why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you? And then a person who he has never before in his life met walks up to his car and says, hey, man, can I borrow your car to go get cigarettes?
Absolutely.
And he says, sure.
Yeah, for sure, buddy.
And then that guy returns the car and doesn't steal it like would have happened. And then then he says, I didn't notice if there was damage when it came back.
I didn't notice that there was like pieces.
Yeah, I
falling
didn't notice
off.
that. I didn't realize that there was severe damage to the car. I didn't know.
Who knew?
Weird. He's like, so I just went, I went back and I just hung out. What the fuck? Like, are you stupid?
Yeah,
what?
No.
So they were like, yeah, that's an awesome story. Totally. So they probed him a little further and he said this happened around 9 p.m. and the kid was near 19 or 20 and he had black hair with big sideburns and he had never met him before this. When the police asked him what time he got home, his mom broke in and answered for him and said by saying 2:30 a.m.
Oh.
So his mom was like,
because his mom was
bitch,
probably
please.
like, you're a fucking dirty liar.
You're a criminal. So they tell him how people had seen that car with that license plate around 2 a.m. And he said, well, if it was there, I must have been there too. What the fuck, Darrell?
Like, yeah, you were there.
What the fuck? This is who he is as a person too. He's very just like, well, he's very 70s, like throughout his entire existence. He's just like, yeah, you know what? If it was there,
Peace,
I must have been there too, man.
Peace, man.
Like my spirit must have been in that car as well, man. And it's like, what the fuck? He also said he knew one person in that area, and it was a guy named Chris. So like the police were like, oh, weird. These two people who were assaulted said the driver asked them. Sorry. Said the driver asked them if he knew a guy named Chris. And his response to that was, oh.
Why would you say the name?
He offered that information.
Why would you say that?
They didn't even ask him. He literally was like, yeah, I don't know. I guess if it was there, I must have been there too. And by the way, in case you were wondering, I only know one person in that area. And like, I know you didn't ask this, but like his name is Christopher.
Why would
Chris
you say
for
that?
short, because that we're friends, me and Chris.
Like,
and then he's like, that's weird.
It was almost like it was like a nervous like tick or something.
And he just unleashes it.
Yeah.
It's the funniest thing I've ever
It's like
heard
he's
in my
trying
life.
to be like so helpful like while lying.
Yeah, and then they're like, "What? That's so crazy," because they said that the person who did this asked if they knew a Chris, and his response is, "Oh,
What a coinky dink.
oh, just oh."
Your home should show off who you are. Now is the time to boldly write the newest chapter in your home story. And your main character? It's Ashley. Ashley has styles that balance timeless appeal and modern trends to bring your personal look home. Yes, these are well-crafted and affordable pieces with eye-catching design, but they're also built to stand up to real life. With features like stain-resistant performance fabric, options that are incredibly durable, easy to clean, and stain-resistant with machine-washable covers. Plus, Ashley provides fast, reliable, white-glove delivery right to your room of choice, so you can style your space without any stress. Ashley was nice enough to send us a bunch of new pieces for my pod lab at my house, and when I tell you they deliver it to your room of choice, unfortunately they did have to deliver to the attic, but they could not have been nicer about it. I got, or was gifted I should say, the Revion Lake sofa and love seat. It's in this like olive colored velvety fabric. It's so nice. I will say it is so freaking easy to clean because if you know me, you know that I have a white cat and a black cat and then a multicolored cat. The white cat loves to just roll all up on this furniture and leave his hair everywhere, but it's so easy to vacuum. I also got the Meili coffee table. So I have that, like I said, in my attic, but I'm ready to order another one for my living room because this coffee table is so beautiful. It has this like antique old money vibe to it. I absolutely love it. And then finally, I got 3 actually of the core stone end tables. They have little shelves in them so you can dress them up and, you know, kind of like personalize them to your style. I highly, highly recommend all of the pieces that I got. And I just recommend Ashley in general. It was such an easy process to shop with them, and the delivery, all of that from start to finish. It was awesome. Visit your local Ashley store or head to ashley.com to find your style. The Sherwin-Williams summer sale is here. Get 30% off select paints and stains or 35% off their newest product, Emerald Symmetry, July 17th through the 27th. Whether you're looking to refresh your interior or your exterior, they've got the colors to bring your vision to life. And with delivery, getting everything to your door is easier than ever. Shop online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details. Delivery available on qualifying orders.
So Darrell, I know this is shocking, he was arrested.
No way.
He later pled guilty to assault, and he was sent to live at Crystal Creek Conservation Camp in Redding. This is a maximum security facility, but it was to give inmates a chance to like really grow. It was mainly for young men. It was like it was a rehabilitation facility for sure. He did great there, apparently. He got along with everybody, was like a model inmate. He started dating a girl named Linda when he got out. I was like, sorry, I buried the lead there. When he got out, he was dating a girl named Linda, and everyone was hoping, like, you know what? He seems like he's gonna chill out. Maybe this is just
narrow.
He had a moment, he had a journey, and maybe that journey is done, and we're gonna start a new one.
Here we go. I was gonna say, here we go, Chris.
Here we go, Chris. Where's Chris and all? I would love to know if they were like talk to Chris. They had his last name.
Everybody hates Chris.
Are you there, Chris? What do you think of all this? Were you the only person that Darrell knew in that area?
I only know one Chris.
Yeah.
No, wait, no, that's not true. I know a lot more than one Chris.
I feel like everybody knows more than one Chris.
You do.
So he's dating Linda. He was on probation after all of this, obviously, when he got out.
Linda loves a bad boy.
Yeah, and all reports that came back pointed to the fact that without alcohol, they said he seemed to be way better. He thrived way more when he wasn't on alcohol. Wow, guys, it's happening. It's happening. When he was not partaking in too much alcohol.
On the elk.
When he was not on that booze. When he was not partaking heavily in the alcohol, he was not aggressive at all. Without it, he was very chill. They were hopeful that he was on the right path if he just stayed sober.
Yeah.
He doesn't.
I had a feeling.
I want to put that out there. So July 30th, 1974, shit went awry.
You don't say.
Darrell was out drinking with friends. Booze. And he got in a fight with one of his friends.
So, wait, he was on alcohol?
He was on alcohol.
He was on the alcohol at that
point? He was on the alcohol. And he got in a fight with one of his friends. And, you know, like when you get into fights with friends, like this stuff happens. He just tried to like beat him to death with a tire iron. Friend things.
What?
Yeah, it's just, I mean, you haven't done that.
I can't say I have. I cannot say in this lifetime that I have done that.
No? Okay.
No.
I guess it's just me. But I guess it's just me and Darrell. But yeah, Darrell literally tried to beat his friend to death with a fucking tire iron.
Like, just for those like gullible Gussies out there, she's kidding.
I'm kidding. That is like, I know sometimes my dark sense of humor / sarcasm doesn't register translate all the time. So just to be very clear, I have not tried to do that. But Darrell has.
Not to my knowledge.
Darrell has. So
Damn.
that I know. That I am sure of.
The fuck?
He was arrested again and brought to a hospital because he was also like, you know, injured in that fight.
Yeah.
And there was a doctor that was trying to attend to his wounds and he literally attacked the doctor.
Was he like on anything other than elk?
Not that I read,
Dang.
but he was just like really, really drunk. He also assaulted the arresting officer. He had to be legitimately subdued.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, after a while, they're only going to do so much.
Now, obviously, this little mishap violated his probation.
Oh, it did.
Because he's now being charged with assault with a deadly weapon. So
Yeah.
he was sent directly to the California Youth Authority. While there, his father passed away, and he got news that his girlfriend Linda was pregnant. So
Shit.
lots of things to work out
Bitch.
while in prison. He has some time to think about these things, so that's good.
There's always a silver lining.
There is. When he was released from his sentence, he moved in with Linda and the new baby.
Okay.
The
the baby was born without him?
Yeah, the baby was born without him. They moved actually next door to his mother's home. He got a job at a lumber mill as a ripsaw operator.
I
and
feel
was like,
that's confusing.
yeah,
though.
I mean, I don't think it's a great idea, but like,
assault with
am
a
I?
deadly weapon is what you just served time for.
Who am I?
But let's put you in charge of
the manager of the
ripsaws.
ripsaw operation there. I'm not. I don't know who is.
Like, I wouldn't even give this guy a razor scooter.
Dear Lumberyard.
The fuck?
What made this seem like if he's the application that you accepted, what were the other ones?
Maybe
that
we're taking it back though to like John Robinson, and he like they just didn't
Maybe.
look. There's no way they saw that he was just like in prison.
I can't imagine that stack of applications if he was the one they were like, you know who we should make the ripsaw operator?
Let's go for that guy.
That guy. Like not these ones.
No.
Like what did the other ones do?
Maybe they didn't have an it was experience.
It was experience. There you go.
Experience with a deadly weapon.
On the job, outside of the job experience.
Yeah,
real
like-
life experience.
like an
That's what he
apprenticeship,
brings.
I guess.
Yeah, he brings a lot to the table. There's that. I mean, somebody thought he was great. So, and again, people were like, all right, he's got
off
a
the
lady.
sauce.
He's got a baby. He's off the sauce.
Yeah.
He's got a job as a ripsaw operator. We don't know.
Question mark.
That one's a little hairy, but like he's got all of this. Maybe he's really getting his shit together. That seems to be a pattern through Darrell Rich's life.
Yeah.
Is that we are always saying maybe he's getting his shit together, and spoiler alert, he never is. He
you
never
know how many
is.
people are like that though?
He never
I
is.
can think of 5.
Till the very end, he never is. So he was, but you know what's crazy? He was even taking time out of his day and volunteering at a local high school to help with like wood shop
Wow.
because he had skills.
Do you think that he like wanted to be good?
I feel like part of him, it seems to me like he didn't want to do what he does,
Yeah.
but that's just who he is. I think he was trying to fight against who he really is, but it took over.
He's a dichotomy.
I do think he's in control, and I think he gives in to his darker impulses, and that's the problem. But I
Right.
think there was a little part of him that wanted to just live a normal life, but he just didn't.
Okay.
And it's like, I feel like that's the problem with all of these dudes. A lot of them are just straight up evil. But there are some that you're like, I feel like part of you wanted to not be
Yeah.
in the shitstorm, but like you chose to.
Like my good girl Tatiana says, choices.
Choices. I'm saying. So at some point, he and Linda did get married. I couldn't find anything about when that happened. It just happened.
I mean,
You know, they got married.
it's not that pertinent.
That's really all that matters. Nothing really hinges on that, so I think we're okay.
Okay, nobody's gonna yell at you.
I didn't
I don't know that for
yeah,
sure.
I didn't want to take up too much time looking for it. Is really the problem here.
That's okay.
So sometime in October 1975, he did get violent with Linda and slapped her during an argument.
No, we don't slap.
Yeah, they did get through it, but he did it again in December. so only a
that
couple
makes
months
me
later.
so sad.
So she left
Good.
after the second one. She left with the baby
Good.
for a week, but came back.
Yeah.
But apparently that changed things for him because he never got violent with her again.
Okay. Well,
So
it's like he saw like what he was gonna lose.
Yeah, it scared him into on the straight and narrow. So April, I wrote April 1276. That's
BC?
not the date. April 1976.
Is everything okay?
He got in a bad car accident.
Oh no.
And he fucked up his face.
Oh,
especially.
no.
He had a huge scar on the bridge of his nose. He had like a ton of surgeries to fix all these things, but he ended up with a giant scar on the bridge of his nose.
Dang.
He became very insecure about this scar.
Oh.
He would say no one would love him and like he'd be depressed about
Like
it.
Linda already did.
Linda was like, I mean, like we're married and have a baby. Like I feel like I've proven that.
I feel like I'm holding it down a little bit here.
He got numerous plastic surgeries done on it, but it still sucked at the end.
Oh no.
So now the drinking begins again because he's trying to cope with this depression and insecurity.
Right.
And now that he's drinking, he turns back into the asshole he really is, and he starts having affairs now.
Oh, to Linda.
Because now he's insecure. So now he's got to prove that he's like this like macho dude, and I'm still nice to look at, so I'm just going to have affairs on you. So they started having more arguments where, although he didn't hit her, she said he was very aggressive.
Okay.
And it was scary for her.
Yeah.
So in 1977, he literally kicked her and the child out of their home.
I hate him.
And so she left him for good and was like, fuck you, and never came back. She was like, nope, bye. So the following year, he met a girl named Darlene. And I guess they met at a park. And according to Season of Madness, the book that I mentioned, he said during one of their first conversations, he just randomly said this, "The cops have been accusing me of a murder at Whiskeytown Lake."
On like their first date, he said
like
that?
One of their first conversations.
Okay.
Why would he think that would like be smooth? I don't like what is
no.
What's the purpose of that? Because also what's weird is there wasn't a murder at Whiskeytown Lake. Not that anybody knew of. Like, there was no reports of any murders there. He was not being questioned for any murder because there wasn't one. So now people are like, was he, like, now, like, hindsight, investigators are like, is there a murder there that we don't know about?
Or do you think that he was like trying to see what her reaction would be?
I don't know, because at this point it's like he hadn't murdered anyone yet,
but, like,
that we know
he was
of.
like planning on it.
I don't know.
Or like he knew like eventually, like,
I don't
because
know if
of
he
who he
just
was,
thought-
that it would lead to that.
I almost think he really likes painting himself as a victim. And I think he likes getting sympathy from people, and I think he gets weird like affection out of being like, yeah, I'm getting accused of this, like people think I'm a shithead.
You would think that you would go with something like a little smaller though, like
yeah,
not
you
murder.
would think you'd go a different angle, but not Darrell. He's really into this,
doing the damn
this
thing.
method, as we'll see. So they dated, but then they broke up a few times. Like, it was one of those, weirdly.
So strange.
But then in 78 they got back together, and she already had a baby
with somebody else. Okay.
She said he was jealous of the baby. Jealous of the attention.
That'll happen.
Like, when he was younger and was jealous of the attention his mother would give the other kids, it was the exact same thing.
He didn't heal his childhood trauma, that's why.
And then he was really nice to little kids when he was little, but when he got older, he hated little kids. And what's weird is Darlene started to babysit kids in their home, like his mom.
That's weird.
Isn't that weird? And he hated them.
Yeah.
He like wouldn't be in the house when they were there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because he was probably like afraid like history was repeating itself.
Yeah, it's so strange.
I mean, it was, but
it's like he picked someone that was like his mother, but like not. It's very strange.
They say that you do.
This is just like so far. So their relationship was volatile. He had many series of depressions. He was depressed a lot of his life. She said she began to be afraid of him and his temper. She didn't want him around the kids that she was babysitting and her child.
Yeah.
He would also leave for like entire nights at a time and like wouldn't tell her where he was going. So she was ignoring a lot of signs that were coming in. A lot of shit happening was weird. He would come home early in the morning and lie about where he was. She would find jeans in the wash in the garbage, or like in the wash or in the garbage, or like stashed away in the garage. She would see sneakers that he was wearing the previous night that were like covered in dirt and mud out in the garage. And she was like, why? Where
what
were
are you doing?
Like, what the fuck? But she didn't know what was happening. She was like, I don't know if I should accuse him of cheating on me, but like, that's weird. Why is he like covered in mud?
Yeah,
and
like, is he cheating on me with like a swampstress?
Is he cheating on me with like a swampstress?
I mean, valid question.
It's a completely valid question. You took the words out of my mouth, but you made them better. I want you to know that. I don't even know what to say. Yeah, that's what she was concerned about. She was like, what's happening?
People have all kinds of concerns.
What am I supposed to think here? So what she didn't know, that these nights that he wasn't coming home, he was out raping and assaulting multiple women.
Okay, that escalated quickly.
Yeah, it sure did. He was also being foul in other ways. He was dating a 15-year-old.
What?
Yep, he was dating a 15-year-old named Lori.
And how old was he at this point?
He was 21 at this point.
Oh, yeah. Not all right.
No, that's not all right at all. And although Darlene had been kind of ignoring some of these, flags that were shooting up, she was starting to get a little suspicious. So she was starting to take action on it. So she decided that she was going to look in his car and just see what was going on in there. And she found an earring, like a woman's earring. And she found a clump of hair that had been pulled out of a scalp.
Oh my God.
Yep. So she asked him about these items.
She didn't.
She was like, what's this about? And he said that he didn't know where the hair was from. He didn't even have an explanation. I don't know.
Okay.
Don't ask me about that. And he said the earring was probably his ex's earring.
But what about the hair pulled directly from a scalp?
So she threw the earring out, which later we kind of can tell where that earring came from.
Oh.
But yeah, he offered no explanation about the hair. He had no idea where that came from, and she just dropped it.
Oh, okay. Things we don't drop is people's hair.
Number 407,000 on things we don't drop. That's what we're learning in this podcast. So June 13th, 1978. This was one of those nights that Darrell didn't come home. That night, 25-year-old... Now, these names that I'm going to use for the surviving victims, they are from court transcripts. They are not the real names of these victims because I don't want to use them if they don't want their names out there.
Yeah.
So I'm just using the court transcript names. In the book, Season of Madness, they use the real names.
Okay.
So I don't want to do that.
But just in case you read that book
just in case you are confused, that's why I'm using these names. So that night, 25-year-old Donna W. was walking a bit late at night to cash in some bottles at a Circle K store. She was walking from her parents' home, and it was around 10 p.m. She crossed over a bridge, and suddenly, this is terrifying, she just heard someone running full speed behind her.
Oh, no.
Yep, it was Darrell Rich.
No.
He grabbed her from behind and then threw her down an embankment.
Oh my God.
Yeah. The momentum made her roll really hard down the hill, and he ran down after her.
What the fuck?
He grabbed her by the hair, and she kept saying, if you let me go, I'm not going to tell anyone, just let me go. But he told her if she spoke again that he would kill her. Then he asked her if she wanted to give him a blowjob.
Ew, no. Get the fuck out of here.
Asked her, would you like to give me a blowjob?
No, dude.
And she was like, no.
Right.
So he flipped and was furious because rejection. So now he starts to punch her in the head and then picked up a rock and beat her over the head with it.
Oh my gosh.
He left her dead at the bottom of the hill. And she was passing out and coming to and passing out over and over again, trying for hours and hours to climb up this hill to the street.
Oh my gosh.
And she said she just kept falling back down. And after 12 hours, finally, a woman walking saw her and called 911.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so she survived.
She survived. So she was brought to the hospital, and they noted she was black and blue, completely black and blue, her entire face and head. Her clothing was torn to shreds.
Oh my God.
He'd violently torn it open. They did a CT scan, and it showed a linear occipital skull fracture.
Holy.
She was so badly beaten and suffered so much neurological damage as a result of this that she could only say her attacker had a beard and dark hair. That's all she could say about him.
Remember.
Which I can't believe she could even say that. She was super affected by this afterwards, physically. Yeah. She was constantly dizzy, had migraines, double vision. She has PTSD. 6 days after this, he did it again.
What the
6
fuck?
days. 6 days after this. It was on June 19th, Robin H., who was a teenager, we're not sure of her exact age, she went to the Anderson County Fair with her friend. Now, they left at 11 p.m. Her friend stayed behind and she was leaving by herself. While she was leaving, she walked by Rich's car that was parked on the side of the road. He was watching her out of the car. She was freaked out when she saw it because she spotted him and was like, that's weird. And she listened to her instincts. So she moved over so she would be like in the street more and wouldn't be walking right past his car. Because she was like, I don't want him to like reach out and grab me.
Right.
So he gets out of his car and yells, hey, come here.
No.
And he's walking towards her. So she screamed no, like, and just started like running. And he said, forget it, and got back in his car and drove away.
Okay.
So she takes off her shoes because she's like, I'm ready. If I need to run, I'm going to run. And she runs towards the bus stop because she's officially freaked out at this point. He suddenly comes up on foot behind her and grabs her and threw her into his car. He threw her in the passenger seat, then grabbed her by the hair, forced her head between his legs, and then drove away with her like that. A couple of minutes into the drive, he yells at her to take her clothes off.
Oh my gosh.
And immediately she was like, fuck you, but he was scary, so she complied. He then drove to a secluded dirt road and parked. He then made her lie down with his shirt over her eyes so she couldn't see him.
Oh my God.
He raped her in the backseat for hours. Oh. She was terrified he was going to kill her, she said, the entire time. He released her after this and told her he knew where she lived and he knew her family and he would come back and kill them all if she fucked up and said anything. He told her he had killed 4 women before her, which is very interesting when we find out in the end. He kicked her out of his car and peeled away. So she just found a phone and called her sister-in-law who came where she was to get her. They called police together and she was taken in for like a full examination.
That poor girl.
She described him as dark hair with a dark beard. But so far they did not connect these two yet.
Oh shit.
June 25th, he did it again.
Thank goodness. That's only like, barely a week later?
This is a 14-year-old named Lisa S. She had gone skating at Viking Skate Country in Reading with her boyfriend, John. Around 11 p.m., they were walking home together and a car pulled up. And this guy in it asked if they needed a ride. They said, no, thank you. And then he turned around, but then he pulled up again and he asked them again. Weirdly, they said yes. Oh. So John opens the passenger door to let her in like a gentleman. And Darrell Rich grabs her hair, yanks her closer to him, punches her in the head, and then peels away so the door closes and John is left in the street.
Oh my God.
He ordered her to strip, and she did out of fear.
Right.
They parked on a secluded dark dirt road, and he raped her. After he was done, he told her if she said anything to anyone, he would track her down and kill her. Then he got back in his car and left her there. But then he suddenly slammed on the brakes and begins to back the car up towards her. So she ran into woods because she was like, fuck, he's going to kill me now. Right. Like, he's literally getting out of the car to kill me. And she hid while he got out of the car and searched for her.
So he was probably going to kill her.
So he was probably coming back to be like, I should finish this. And she hid. Luckily, he gave up and left.
Oh my God. Can you imagine hiding in the woods while that's happening? This shit's like a movie.
A 14-year-old. She ended up walking into town to the police station and reported the whole thing. She was walking into town like half naked.
Right.
Like just raped and assaulted.
Girl.
Yeah. In the very early morning hours of July 4th, another one happened. Now remember, this last one was June 25th.
Yeah.
July 4th.
He's like going
rampage.
Crazy.
Marla Y got into a fight with her boyfriend, just like an argument, and she decided to take a walk to like clear her head. Once she felt cooled off, she was going to walk back to his parents' home where they were. It was late and it was getting dark, so she was kind of like regretting this decision to take a walk, but she was walking along, at like a jogging pace at this point. And she was jogging along the Anderson Cottonwood Canal, and suddenly she saw a man walking in the opposite direction. When they passed each other, and she was freaked out, she said she like didn't want to run by him, but she was like, I'm just going to run by him really fast.
Right.
Well, when they passed each other, he reached out and grabbed her.
Oh my God. I hate how he does, like, I don't like that.
He's terrifying. He hit her on the head hard and then told her if she struggled or screamed, he would kill her. So she smartly decided to say that her boyfriend was following behind her and he would be sorry. She was like, my boyfriend's behind me, like walking, he's coming up. but he terrifyingly said, quote, "You're lying because I've watched you all the way from Hilltop Drive."
Oh my God.
Like, chills.
To know that you've been watched, I
The
can't
entire
even imagine that feeling.
And for him to just be like, no, I've literally been watching you this whole time. So she fought hard, but he knocked her unconscious. She woke up sometime later with her shirt unbuttoned, and she was being pushed by this man towards the canal.
Oh my gosh.
Rolled towards the canal. So she went nuts, like struggling again, and he ripped her shirt right off of her, pinned her down, forced her to take her pants off, telling her he was going to kill her if she didn't listen to him.
Oh my God.
He then put his pants over her face, and he raped her. She asked, "What are you going to do with me afterwards?" And he told her to shut the fuck up and stay put. And he said, "Put your head down." So she did, and he just left.
Wow.
And she saw what car he was driving because she's a badass who looked at the last second. And she said, quote, "It was a small sedan, kind of dark in color, and possibly a Datsun." She ran to the apartments nearby and she called police and told them.
Oh my
what
gosh.
a badass.
Imagine too having like an argument right before that.
Oh my God.
It just like drives the point home, like never leave angry.
Yeah. Even if you think like a lot of people are like, "I'm going to take a walk to cool off." Like, you don't know what can happen.
Right.
Man.
Anything
It can be
could
a Darrell
happen.
Rich on that walk. You don't want that.
Right.
So the same day,
July 4th.
July 4th, the same day, like what? 19-year-old, and this is when things get really, really, really bad. They've already been really, really, really bad. Now they're really, 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 really bad.
Oh no.
19-year-old Annette Edwards was with her boyfriend Mikie and some friends. Now, Annette was known to be sweet and was described as having a charming and happy personality, a beautiful smile. 2 days before this, she had just gotten a great job working at the Martin Luther King Jr. Center in Reading. That night, she went to a park to see fireworks because it was July 4th.
Yeah.
After the fireworks, she walked to Market Street and was on her way home. I think she had actually left them to get a better look at the fireworks.
Oh, okay.
So she had like left and was walking back. So she's on her way home. A man pulls up.
Oh no.
He has a dark beard and dark hair, and he asks if she needs a ride. So she says no, and she keeps walking. Suddenly down the way, he just jumps out in front of her again and was like, "Need a ride?" And she was like, "No, like I told you no." So he grabs her and throws her and himself down an embankment together.
Fuck?
This was 2 miles from her apartment.
Oh my God.
Now, once down at the bottom of this embankment, he tried to rape her, but he could not because she was fighting so hard and because he's the worst. And he beat her to death with a rock at the bottom of the embankment.
Oh my. So
He
this
got
is
so
his first
angry
kill.
because he couldn't rape her that he beat her to death with a rock.
That is so fucked up.
Mm-hmm. The next morning, her boyfriend filed a missing persons report because when he woke, he was like, "Where the
He had
fuck
no
is
idea.
she?" 3 days later, July 7th, a logging truck driver named Sheldon Heath, he called police and told them he had lost a tire. And he said he went looking for it down near the embankment, and he smelled a very foul odor.
No.
So police showed up, and they found Annette Edwards dead in the grass at the bottom. She was on her back with her legs spread intentionally to
What a
shock.
fucking asshole.
Her pants were around her ankles, and her shirt was up around her shoulders. Her head was battered and bloody, and there was a bloody trash can lid near the body. So they think he also beat her with a trash can lid.
God.
There was also bloody rocks. Her autopsy revealed that she had likely been dead for about 2 days. She had bruises and abrasions on her buttocks and legs. According to court records, quote, her upper jaw had suffered 2 fractures.
My God.
One began at the left midline and went through her left eye socket and into the lower portion of her skull to the base of her brain.
Wow.
The other followed a similar pattern, but began on the right side of her face. The body had other injuries and bruises. The autopsy surgeon testified that a substantial amount of force was required to inflict the injuries on the jaw.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. The cause of death was described as basal skull fractures inflicted by blunt force.
Wow. What an escalation.
Her bottom jaw was literally nearly broken into.
Right.
Like
all the way to the base of her brain
that's
and behind
through
her
eye socket. That's insane. So What's crazy to me is apparently at first glance, the police were like reluctant to call it foul play.
What?
Like they thought she just fell down there. And it's like, I don't think that caused that.
I don't really think so.
But okay.
Why would like her pants be around her ankles?
She was clearly sexually assaulted.
Right.
Like, get out of here. So a few days later, Darrell actually told a friend of his named Gail Croxwell that he was nervous that police were starting to question him about the rapes and the murder. They had not.
What the why? So again, he's like,
he did it again. And he said to Gail he needed an alibi for the nights in question because he couldn't remember all the nights where he was. And he was careful to say that he was innocent, but he said he just couldn't remember because I can't remember where I am every night and I'm scared they're going to ask me and I won't have something. And so he said, Gail, could you say that I was watching fireworks with you on July 4th? And say that, you know, like, that's where I was that night. And Gail was like, yeah, no, like, you weren't. So, like, I'm not going to say that, but okay. He was like, if they come for me, like, I'll talk to them, but, like, I'm not going to cover for you.
I don't know.
And at this point, they had not connected any of these rapes
to him
or this murder. Right. No, they hadn't connected them together. At all. Even though they were all a man with dark hair and a dark beard.
That's, like, very strange.
Yeah, which is nuts. There's also, during this time, remember, he's still with Darlene. He has not broken up with Darlene.
I was literally just going to ask you that.
And at this time, he and Darlene had gotten in a fight, and he had thrown her on the couch and screamed in her face out of nowhere, "I killed that girl." She told him, like, cut the shit. She was like, "What are you talking about? Why would you say that?" And he was like, "Oh, I don't know. I just said it, but I didn't do it."
No,
she was like, what the fuck?
And then you have to think back to when you found like an earring and
exactly
like hair with like scalp attached to it in his car.
Yeah. So at another time, he told Darlene that the police stopped him at a marketplace around town and they had questioned him about Annette's murder. He told her they were going to ask her about it too and that she needed to lie and tell them that he was with her on July 4th because Gail wasn't going to give him the alibi. And they never did this. They never stopped him and talked to him about it. He was literally not on their radar at all.
I was literally just going to say he was like under their radar.
Literally not on their radar. When he finally gets caught, they were like, when they even bring him in, it's not even to accuse him of it.
Wow.
It's for something else. So this entire time he's been saying that the police are on his ass and questioning him. They're like, we literally didn't even realize it was him.
I'm glad that he manifested it.
I'm glad he did. But so it's insane. So by now, he had tapped out of the Reading area because he's doing all these things in the area of Reading. And now, in his own mind, they're starting to close in on him or something. So he was like, you know what? Instead of just stopping what I'm doing and not raping and murdering people, he was like, you know what? I'm just going to go somewhere else. So he decides to hunt women about 20 miles away in Red Bluff because that's what you do. So remember, that was July 4th. July 9th.
My gosh.
1978. Kelley M., who was 15 years old. She's on her bike on her way home from her cousin's home around 10 p.m. A car pulls up next to her, and it's Darrell Rich.
Ugh.
And he asks her what time it is. When she went closer to tell him the time, he punched her in the face, grabbed her by the hair, and pulled her off his bike and towards him into the car. Once in the car, he did what he always did. He made her crouch down under the passenger seat, told her if she raised her head that he would beat her to death with a flashlight.
My God.
He also told her he had a gun under his seat and a dead body in the trunk. Neither of these things were true.
The fuck?
Now, he then ordered her to take her clothing off. She fought back, but eventually conceded like the other ones because they all said like, fuck you, dude. But they were like, what am I going to do?
What do you do in that
like,
situation?
What am I supposed to do? While driving, he forced her to perform sexual acts on him. She said he offered her a beer at one point, and she said no. But then he said if a cop came and stopped them, he was just going to blow that cop away. So she was like, okay, this is chaotic. Like, this is a lot of chaos. And he stopped at a few parks, but kept getting scared off by people coming up. So he just dragged this poor girl, naked and assaulted, and she had no idea what was going to happen. So he's just dragging her all around the place, like to different parks, where she's like, are you killing me at these places? What's going to happen?
Yeah.
And he did this for hours, like hours. And after it was pitch black, he finally drove her up like hills and into a countryside, like into this pitch black place where he pushed her out of the car. He put a piece of fabric over her face. She didn't know what the fabric was. And he raped her. He sodomized her. And he did this for hours.
Oh my gosh.
She said she thought it would never end.
Why do you think that he did that when he raped them? Like put something over their faces? Because they had already seen him by that point.
I don't know. That's the thing. So I don't know if it's like in his own mind. Because he doesn't do it with the ones that he kills.
Oh.
So it's like, I don't know if this is just his own weird justification.
Huh.
Because it is weird. It's like they've already seen him. But
Right.
maybe he assumes that the trauma he's going to inflict on them will make them not remember what he looked like beforehand.
Okay.
So if he can stop the line of sight now. But I think he's just a fucking idiot, to be quite honest.
Chaotic.
Like, I think I'm giving him a lot more credit, like, intellectually than he actually should be getting. I think he's just fucking stupid. And I think he's like, and I think he also is trying to do some kind of sensory deprivation. I think it makes it fun for him because it scares them more.
Right.
It's scarier. So I think he's just like, oh, cool, I can torture them more by doing this. Like, I don't give a shit what he says. He's such a fucking piece of shit.
Okay, let's be honest. I feel like when we were all like really first starting our periods, we all had that moment where we bled through our jeans or something like that. And it always happened at school or at a sleepover somewhere really embarrassing. Periods always come with enough surprises, right? So nobody wants a pad that stinks. And honestly, women have been expected to just deal with that for way too long. That's why Kotex is changing the game with a completely redesigned lineup of pads and liners like Kotex BioCare. Kotex BioCare is the first and only pad with the pH proactive system that helps optimize the pad's pH. And the pad helps combat odor and irritants from period blood. Listen, we take care of our faces with 12-step routines, but we're just going to ignore our downstairs mix-up? Absolutely not. Kotex BioCare gets it, and I love that. Check out Kotex.com for more details on the new launch of Kotex BioCare, available in regular, heavy, overnight, and daily liners. Every flow covered. Now available at retailers nationwide. Chilling crime cases are mysterious, but finding coverage shouldn't be. With the State Farm Personal Price Plan, you have options and can personalize your plan to help create an affordable price so you can get back to cracking all of life's bigger cases. Talk to a State Farm agent today to learn how you can choose to bundle and save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Head to statefarm.com to get a quote. Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
So after he was done with this, again, for hours, and she's like a child.
She's 15.
A child. He then did something he hadn't done before. He wiped the semen off of everything, including her. Uh-huh. And then he threw the towel in the woods. And then he drove her down the road, threw her out of the car, and told her that the car that he was in was stolen. Uh-huh. And then he was going to be ditching it.
Okay. I'll trust that.
And she was like, good story.
Noted.
And then he was like, don't say anything to anyone. And then he just drove off.
You got it. Dude.
And again, it's like, he covers her eyes during the whole thing, and then she sees him again. So then it's, to me, I'm like, is it a shame thing?
That's what
he doesn't want them looking at him during this whole thing, but when he's trying to be like a functioning human, he's fine with them seeing him.
Or I don't know if this is like weird to say, but like, do you think that he was like trying to think of somebody else, like that he was like angry with or something?
No, I feel like it's more of a shame thing. Okay. I feel like in the moment, because he does say later many times that he wanted to stop what he was doing, but he couldn't stop.
Okay.
So I wonder if somewhere in his weird sick mind, he felt some kind of shame, and he knows what he's doing is wrong. As we'll find out later, he's very sane. He knows the difference between right and wrong. He knows while he's doing it that it's wrong. So I think something in his brain is telling him like, this is wrong. And he feels shame, but he knows he's not going to stop. So he just covers their face so he can make it more of like an experience for him. That's what I feel like. So she ended up running to a nearby trailer home that she found. A woman allowed her in and let her call the police. She said over and over to this woman, I was sure he was going to kill me. Like she just kept saying it. Like, I was sure he was going to kill me. And like he was going to do it. Around 1:30 a.m., the police showed up and they brought her to the hospital for examination. When she was examined, she was battered and bruised. She had a huge lump on her forehead and she was missing a patch of hair, which had been forcibly pulled out of her scalp.
Oh my gosh.
She had lost an earring in the struggle, which is the one that Darlene later found in the car.
Okay.
In that clump of
in the hair.
In that hair. So she described him as possibly late 20s with dark hair and a dark beard. On July 25th, so only, let's see,
That's
a
like
couple
2
weeks later, Darlene left him.
Good.
And he said, when she left him, he said to her, and she reported this later, he said, quote, "I'm glad you won't be around when all this stuff comes up."
Well, and okay, so I'm glad because that means that she left him like pretty soon after she found the earring in the hair. So
Yeah,
like, I'm
she
proud
did.
of her.
She did. And I guess when she was leaving, so he said that, "I'm glad you won't be around when all this stuff comes up." And then he said, "If I had met you earlier, all of this probably wouldn't have happened."
That's like such a shitty thing to say because like that's not true.
And it's like, oh, I'm sorry. Is this Darlene's fault?
Right.
Like, what?
No.
No. I mean, luckily she left him, but once again, he gets angry with rejection. So on August 4th, so only about a week later,
Right.
1978, Patricia Ann, who was known more as Pam Moore, who was only 17 years old, she would be his next victim.
Ugh.
Pam had a tough, like, kind of crazy life growing up. She was going to Casa Grande High School in Petaluma, and at 15 she was living like part-time in a foster home, sometimes at home.
Okay.
With like a large kind of chaotic family.
That's
It was just a lot going on. But, you know, her brother later said, quote, "She was not a model child, but my parents weren't model parents."
Right. You're right.
She was beautiful. She took pride in her appearance. She won second place at the Miss Sonoma County Beauty Contest, and she was also really smart. She was hitchhiking on Cypress Avenue when a man with dark hair and a dark beard picked her up.
No.
And there were witnesses later that saw that. Darrell said he would bring her where she wanted to go, but soon she realized that they were going in a completely different direction. She tried to say this, and he would ignore her. So she asked him what the fuck was going on, and he told her to keep your mouth shut and I won't kill you.
Oh my God.
So he drove her to a remote place, possibly near Gas Point Road, and he brutally raped and assaulted her.
Oh.
He then put her back in the car. She's alive at this point. Went further up Gas Point Road where there's like no houses, no buildings. It's just like nothingness. And that's the other thing. He loved doing it in these scary,
like
totally secluded places. And they were literally like off-roading at this point, like going into the woods. And they ended up in a town called Igo. And in the book, Season of Madness, they explain what, because I was like, Igo. Because at first, when I saw it, it's IGO. And I was like, is it Igo or Igo? Like, and I guess the town was named when like the founder of the town would like go off to work and his son would say, I go. And they named it Igo.
Oh, that's
Isn't
cute.
that weird? It's
Yeah.
just like a weird
That was a nice
story.
palate cleanser.
Yeah, I just thought that was like, oh, this is cute. It's going to get bad now. So he brought Pam Moore to the Igo dump. And he made her get out of the car. He made her walk across trash into the dump. And then he picked up a rock and ruthlessly beat her in the head with a large rock.
My God.
Even after she stopped struggling, he continued to beat her until he literally caved to the side of her skull in.
What the fuck,
He then covered her up with a little trash and left her there in the dump.
That is heartbreaking. I can't even imagine her family knowing that.
Oh, it's outrageous. And Pam had been staying at a motel for the night at the time, and her friend Daniel had got got concerned because he hadn't heard from her in a couple of days. So he went to the motel and he was led to her room where he found all her stuff there.
Right.
But he was like, I don't know, like sometimes she pieces out for a little while and like goes on a journey and then she'll come back. So like maybe she's just out traveling somewhere and like doing something. She's just one of those people. But that would not be the case. And August 8th, 1978, only 4 days later, he would kill again.
Oh my God.
Yep.
So that was his second murder.
That was his second murder.
Okay.
And we are going to stop there.
Oh my goodness.
For part 2.
Luckily, I know that we're recording part 2 right now. Wow, guys. Well, we'll see you for part 2 then. And we hope you keep listening.
And we hope you
keep
it weird.
But not this weird at all.
Don't even pretend to keep it this weird.
Never.
Don't you dare. Don't.
Alaina's gonna get you.
You know that feeling when you come home late from work and those puppy dog eyes just pierce right through your soul? Or when you're packing for a trip and your cat refuses to leave your suitcase? Yeah, we've all been there. Pet parent guilt is real. And you know what? It's completely normal. That's exactly why Hill's Pet Nutrition exists. They understand that being a pet parent means being human, with all of our imperfections and daily juggling acts. Hill's science-led nutrition helps you give more love than humanly possible. Whether it's those long work days or trying to balance attention between multiple pets, Hill's Pet Nutrition gets it. They've created science-based nutrition that supports your pet's lifelong health, so you can feel confident even when life gets hectic. Because you're only human, there's Hill's. Science does more. Ready to let go of the guilt? Find the right food at hillspet.com/podcast. That's hillspet.com/podcast.
Do you remember in school when your teacher had a favorite of everything? A favorite marker, a favorite element, and yes, even a favorite student? Who wasn't me, so let's move on. I want to talk about their real favorite thing, Kleenex tissues. According to teacher lists, Kleenex is the #1 facial tissue trusted by teachers. They're silky soft, help prevent skin irritation. And now, with Kleenex Snap and Go, you can take them anywhere. Stock up on the ultimate classroom favorite. For whatever happens next, grab Kleenex.